Hey guys, welcome to today's video. Today I have my good friend Stacy coming to let me do a full face of makeup on her, and I wanted to start doing these so that you guys can see different styles of makeup or the same style of makeup on different skin tones and different skin maturities, and I could kind of give you guys some tips and tricks along the way, and you guys could see some of the products that other people use that may work for them, that may not work for me, that I don't necessarily feature on my channel. So I'm excited for that. And big shout out to Stacy and thank you for coming and being featured on my channel. So let's hop right into today's video and let's get Stacy glammed up. I have my friend Stacy here helping us out. We are going to do a full face on her and do kind of a neutral eye look, kind of an everyday go-to eye look. So if you guys like that type of thing, then give this video a big thumbs up. Make sure you are subscribed to my channel and ring the bell so that you are notified of all of my upcoming videos. So let's go ahead and get into this. You guys really aren't going to be able to see me, but you'll be able to see what I'm doing on her face and how I apply the makeup. So first, let's apply some primer. This is the Mary Kay Foundation Primer Sunscreen. This is one that she had in her collection. So we're going to use that, and we're also going to use the Catrice Prime and Fine Pore Filling Primer. So we'll go in with the Pore Filling Primer first. So next we're going to go in with some foundation. This is the one that Stacy normally uses. This is the Covergirl Outlast, and she is in the shade Classic Tan 860. So you usually apply this with like a little round sponge, right? Mm-hmm. All right, so we're going to use a kind of like a beauty blender type sponge today. I've already dampened it. It's got an angle right here and some straight sides right here to really get kind of by your nose and stuff. So what I'm going to do first is just apply this straight to the sponge. I'm going to do one pump at first, and then we'll see if we need more. So I'm just dotting this all over her face, just getting a good base down, and then we'll do one more pump. How much of this do you usually use when you put it on? Like one pump, two pumps, half a
pump and a half, maybe.
I'm going to blend down her neck so that we don't have a line from 2003. Go on the ears a little bit. And you're just patting that in. Blend it into the hairline so that you don't have a weird line. If she wanted to do more coverage where she felt like she needed it, this one built up really easily, so she could just go in with a little bit more, really concentrate it, and just blend it in with the sponge. I'm not going to go in with any more. This is the concealer that she usually uses, but she doesn't use this every day. You just use this like when you feel like you look more tired than usual. Okay. So this is the Smashbox Studio Skin 24-Hour Waterproof Concealer. This is a great concealer. She is in the shade of medium dark. So I always look tired, so I always use concealer.
I just don't like to admit to it.
So instead of going in with more foundation, what I'm going to do is go in with the concealer. So first thing I'm going to do is go right under the eye here where she's got some darkness. And don't forget about this little inner part right here. And this is just a little more full coverage than her foundation. So in my opinion, this concealer is a little dark. Some people like to match their concealer exactly. Sometimes I do that as well. But especially if you've got a little bit of darker cast under your eyes, I like to go in with a little bit brighter concealer on top of your main concealer, just a tiny bit in the darkest areas, and blend that with your concealer because that'll give you a brightening effect. Now we'll take this little angled portion of this sponge and we'll blend this out. On this concealer, just look up. This is the setting powder that Stacey usually uses. This is the CoverGirl Clean Professional. I do like this setting powder. It is in the shade 115 Translucent Medium, but I don't want to use this to set the under eyes. I want to use a true translucent powder with no pigment to brighten up the under eyes. I'm going to go in with a little bit of Coty Airspun. This smells like your grandma's closet. Look up. I'm going to dip right into that with the sponge. And we're going to go right on the under eye there. So we're not going to bake her under eye. We're just going to set it with that. I'm going to go into her powder that she usually uses, which is the CoverGirl Clean Professional. All right, I'm going to tap out any creasing that may have happened. Keep your eyes closed. We're going to take this powder on a big fluffy brush. This one's from EcoTools. It's called a full powder brush. We're going to dip into this and we're going to use circular motions and swirl just to set her foundation. The foundation that she uses is kind of dries down to a powder finish. And I'm just dusting off this other translucent powder here. So that is her base done. And what we did different from her normal routine is we brightened up the under eye area with a little bit brighter concealer. And then we went in with some translucent powder instead of just with the pigmented powder right off the bat. Alright, so now let's do an eyeshadow look. So I'm going to use the Milani Bold Obsessions because it has the most versatility. You can do a completely neutral look here, you can do a warm tone look here, you can do a smoky eye here, and this palette is pretty affordable. So let's go in first with a fluffy blending brush. We're going to go into this shade right here at the top. It's kind of a neutral transition shade, and it's called Bear in Mind. We're going to swirl into that with our brush. We're just going to use that as a transition shade right in the crease. Now we're going to dip into this shade down here. It is a chocolatey brown. It's called Brunettes Have Fun. And I'm taking that on a Morphe M431, and I'm taking that right into the outer edge. And I'm going to take a clean blending brush and blend that up into the crease. Now I'm going to go into this lighter shade up here, and it is called Camp Pink Straight. I'm going into a fluffy blending brush, and I'm going to go right on the inner portion of her lid here. I'm going to follow the arch of her brow, just brighten up that whole area. Now we're going to go into some shimmer shades. So this one is called Sands of Time, and I go in with my finger. You guys know I like to use my finger for shimmer shades, just my personal preference. This one is a little bit lighter shimmer shade. We're going to put that right on the inner portion of her lid. You don't have to worry about being too precise with this because this is just kind of an everyday throw on look. This is like your go-to. Like, I don't feel like doing anything crazy. This is what I know looks good. So I want to go on the lower lash line. If you're just doing like a quick run out the door, you don't care about anything, you don't have to do this, but I like to just... So I went into that top shade Bear in Mind and the bottom one Brunettes Have Fun. I'm going to start on the outer edge of the lower lash line with a tapered blending brush. Back and forth motions, a little bit more into that brown, right on the outer edge. All right, let's do the other eye, and then we will move on to the rest of the face. So we're going to use this dark brown from the palette, and we're going to line her on the top with a powder. All right, let's throw on some bronzer. This one is the NYX Professional Matte Bronzer. This is in the shade number 3. I'm going to take that on an e.l.f. pointed powder brush. And when you bronze, you want to go right in the areas where the sun would hit first. So your forehead, up into your hairline. And you'll go right on the cheeks here. So what I want to do for blush, I'm going to go into this Honest Cream Blush. This one is in the shade Coral Peach. Stacey has like probably the perfect skin tone for this color blush because her skin is a little bit darker. And kind of a corally color looks really pretty on this type of skin tone. I'm just taking it on a little angled blush brush. And we're going to go right on the apples of the cheeks. We're going to stipple it on. Ideally, this would be something that you could do before you put any powder on, but this particular cream blush works really well with powder, so if you forget and you still want to use this cream blush, this one doesn't really bunch up. I'm going to take a little bit of the beauty sponge that's still damp and just diffuse it out. Take this Tarte Amazon Clay Baked Blush in the shade Captivating, and we're just going to barely tap that just to set that cream blush. Alright, so now let's go into some highlight. So this is actually a peach blush that came in an Ipsy bag. It's from Ofra, and it's just called Peach Blush, but we're going to use this as Stacey's highlight. She has a nice skin tone for this type of highlight. It's like a goldeny rose kind of color. When you're highlighting, I try to start like a little bit right behind the eyebrow and then work your way forward, just so you don't start too far forward. Alright, so we'll set with some of the e.l.f. Stay All Night Microfine Setting Mist. Let's do some brows. Stacey, you don't usually do your brows, right? You just kind of comb through them just in case there's powder. So the trick I like to do with brows, if you're like really not into doing them, or you really don't need to because your brows are kind of fuller, obviously you can just leave them as is. I like to fill in mine just a tiny bit. So I'll take a powder that has a brown that's pretty close to my shade of my brows. I'll go on a little angled brush and kind of start in the middle of your brow so you don't get a big blob of color right on the end. Okay, so Stacey has really thick, nice brows, and they don't really need to be filled. But in her case, this brow here is just a tiny, tiny bit shorter than this one. So it helps to use powder because we're not really creating a brow or individual hairs here, but we are kind of creating a shadow to where her brows will look more even. After that, you can go in with a brow gel to set the powder. Alright, so that is the brows filled. We're going to let Stacy throw on some mascara. She uses the Maybelline Lash Sensational Sky High. I actually haven't tried this one. This is what the wand looks like. It's like a plastic wand, like a silicone wand, and it's kind of long. It's got a tapered end on it. Alright, so now this gorgeous lash lady has put her lashes on. You don't usually wear anything on your lips? Nothing?
Not with a mask now.
Well, I mean, if you didn't have
If I didn't have a mask, yes, I would have something on my lips.
what would you put on? Like a gloss or like anything pigmented?
I like the burgundies.
Like a darker?
Okay.
We're not doing that today. Alright, so what we're going to do today, I'm going to do a neutral lip on Stacy so that it can kind of go with the eye. She likes to do a darker burgundy lip. That would be something, obviously it's her preference. She can do whatever she wants. Makeup has no rules. Do what you want. Whatever makes you feel good. I hate foundation lips, so I always clean off. So I'm going to go in with the NYX Suede Matte Lip Liner. This one is in Whipped Caviar. They have tons of different shades of this, so obviously you can do whatever you like. I'm just going to follow the natural line of her lips. And then we're going to go in with this Jason Wu Honey Fluff Lip Cream in the shade Adored. This one is not quite a liquid lip, but also not quite a gloss. It dries down, but it doesn't leave your lips feeling super dry. Alright guys, this is the look completed for Stacy. She's got her hair up, and if we were doing like a full outfit meal deal, we'd throw that down and either straighten it or put some pretty beach waves in it, but I think this turned out really pretty. It looks really good with her skin tone. This is a super neutral eye look that she could do like super fast once she practices a little bit. And if you guys like this type of video, if you guys want me to do full face on other people besides myself so that you can see how things look like on different skin tones and different skin maturities, then let me know in the comments down below. Give this video a big thumbs up. Make sure you are subscribed, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye. Oh Lord, help. Help, send help. Okay. So, alright, just relax your face. My nose is running. We're gonna throw that away because it's help. Alright, just relax your face.
That's why I'm here.